Hi, this is Tom Mura with World Class Coaching with another in our series of animated drills. This is a warm-up activity that I first saw performed by the U12 Academy players at Sporting Kansas City before a game in the Patterson Cup that was part of the Next Gen Showcase in 2019. So I was kind of going to my game. I got a chance to catch a little bit of their warm-up in their game before I headed off to mine. And I thought this was excellent just because it used the space very efficiently, and I liked how it included running with the ball, fakes and moves, passing, combination play off those passing activities. So it was just all a really tight warm-up, and we're so often faced with a very narrow strip of space in which to warm up, whether it be between fields or on the end of a field, that I thought this was just great. It just fit perfectly with an environment that we're so often faced with, and it's too tight to do things like 4v2 or even 4v1 because you're afraid the ball's going to go on the field, or you can do dribbling, you can do passing. It's all very linear. This is still pretty linear just because of the shape used, but you'll see that at least there's some angles to the passing that make it a little bit different. So the way this is set up is there's a cross here in the center of cones. This is about 3 yards from the center cone out to that cone, so 3 yards to each cone. Here it looks a little larger just because everything's not to scale here, but I wanted to make things large enough that you could see them. This blue cone is then about 10 yards from the edge of that cross area in the middle. And the orange cone is set back a few yards and in line with the cross area. One player at the front of each of the orange cone lines has a ball, and it starts off with this player dribbling toward that cross area in the middle, and they stay on their side of the cross. So players dribbling here, I'll just move them so you can better see the passing afterwards. So the players move into this area, and what they then performed 5 or 6 quick touches, quick lateral movements, feints, side to side, quick footwork before coming out on the other side of the cross. And as they come out on the other side of the cross, then we have a pass that goes into the feet of the player at the front of the blue line. That player then lays the ball off for the same player who just passed it, who's going to move into that space to then make the final pass into the player who's stepped in front of the cone here. Obviously, they make the pass into that player to complete the combination. The same thing's done on the other side. 5, 6 quick touches, feints, fakes laterally, and then the ball is played in, played back, and played through to the player there. And so hopefully we keep the coordination to where they're fairly close together in terms of how they're performing these actions. So everything just rotates and you follow your pass. So the player that dribbled in then goes to the end of the blue line. Player that laid off for that player then goes to the end of the orange line. And then this player obviously does the same thing at the end of this blue line, so we just have a circular rotation that goes. This works great with 8 players, still good with 10 players. When you start to get to 12 players, there's a little bit more standing around. If you have room to set up 2 of these activities and have 6 players flying through it, then you're going to keep constant motion. And actually, when I've done it with that few players, they have to stay really sharp, because if they even take a break at one cone, they're not ready for the next thing. So they have to move quickly. We always put 2 players here at the blue and left 1 at the orange. So this player had to make that layoff pass and then move quickly in here for the next player dribbling so that they were ready. So in terms of using it for a warm-up, 6 might be the best just because it keeps that constant movement there. So this worked great for us. I'd love to hear how you might progress this with different combinations, different ideas, still keeping with the theme of warming up in a narrow space and including a lot of different skills.